So spring has just started and my hostas are coming through, and they're in a pot which is sat on something which completely stopped any slug and snail damage last year. So I'm just going to show you what that is and how you can use it to stop your hostas being damaged. And then I'm also going to show you how you can make sure that once you've stopped slugs from gaining access to your pot, you also get rid of any slugs and snails and their eggs that may already be in your pot from last year. The easiest and best way to protect your hostas in potted plants is by using a water or a saltwater moat. Here's saltwater moat in a slug stand, and as you can see, it holds them really high above, and the slugs would have to cross over the water or reach above it. And because of the dimensions of the slug stand, it's just too far. So you have a really quick, easy and effective way to protect your plants. And two slug stands together, as you can see, you could protect a lot of hostas. I've just used my herb garden just as an example. Protecting hostas in pots is much easier than protecting hostas in the ground for two main reasons. You'll never get rid of slugs and snails from the ground, but you can get rid of slugs and snails and their eggs from your pots. And also, the slugs can only get in one way. They have to climb up the sides of the pots and they can't come in from underground unless you have really large drainage holes and loose soil. So it's a really simple idea, but often simple ideas are the most effective. I mean, this idea has been around for millennia. Salt water, it's as old as the oceans and the seas for keeping land animals apart. And it's a really simple solution with very little maintenance or effort involved. It just simply stands your plants out of reach of slugs and snails. So the water fills itself up naturally. Occasionally it might overflow, getting some salt into the area around. But if it's on a patio or somewhere like this, it's really not an issue. And also, if the planter is bigger than the slug stand, it stops the rain from running in there. So overflowing isn't really an issue. It has a 5-litre reservoir, so it's a lot of water to evaporate also. And if you use salt, once it's evaporated, it leaves a salty residue in place, which is still really off-putting to slugs and snails. Another few issues are people worry about mosquitoes sometimes, so I overflow mine quite regularly, and to be honest, the salt should really stop most species of mosquitoes from breeding in the water. So if you just want to create a small slug-free zone in your garden for your hostas, using a slug stand is a really simple, quick and effective method. So using a slug stand is a fantastic solution for stopping slugs and snails getting into your potted hostas. But if you already have slug, snail damage or eggs, then you're actually going to trap them in. So you do need to make sure that you get rid of any slugs or snails. So one good method is, imagine you've got some of your hostas, and here is, you can fill a bucket full of water and just soak your hostas underwater for 5 minutes or so. And that's going to push any slugs and snails out. Another method you can do is you can just go round at night with a torch and make sure you remove any slugs or snails that are stuck the other side. And after a few short trips, you'll probably get rid of almost all of it. And then you just need to be aware of any slug or snail damage on the leaves. And that'll be a good sign that you've got one hiding in there somewhere, and you need to make sure you find that and get rid of it.